and about 7 to 8 in the hills.
And tonight, how cool will it be?
Okay, tonight will be similar again to the past couple of nights, with temperatures falling to about 7 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, cooler over the south coast, 7 to 3 inland and 6 to 8 in the hills.
And for the end of the week, what type of weather are we expecting?
Okay, similar weather to continue with a general northeasterly airflow. Might expect some cooler temperatures over the weekend as the cold front comes a bit close to the country. But not
Close.
far.
All right. So we'll have cooler temperatures, but not cold front temperatures?
No, just cooler.
Okay, I'll take that. All right. And looking out into the tropics, Angelia, is there anything we need to be monitoring at this time?
No, not at this time.
All right. That's good news. Thank you so much for that update.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you too.
There you have it.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
The cold front.
Yeah, I know.
You like skip past today and tomorrow, and you say, "Ooh, it's gonna be."
Yeah.
I gotta say, we were off camera. I kind of jumped up.
Yeah, I keep my eyes on the prize, so I can
It has been, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to some cool weather coming in. But for now, if you're concerned about the clouds outside, we are expecting some morning showers, possible thunderstorm here or there. But for the most part, it'll be a sunny and warm day.
Yeah. So
All right.
it should be nice to be outside.
Okay, so we got to shift into some morning motivation.
Yeah, we do have our eye opener.
That's right. And our eye opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. When we're feeling lonely, we have lost the idea that we are all one and none of us are separate from the whole. We all have days when we feel lonely, but the very idea of loneliness comes from the false notion that we are separate and isolated parts in a world filled with other separate, isolated parts. In truth, we can no more be separate from our world than a fish can be separate from the water in which it swims. When we really begin to look at the boundaries we see as so solid, they prove to be, in fact, quite porous. For example, it's not clear exactly where our skin ends and the air begins when we consider how our skin is affected by changes in the quality of the air. When it is dry, our skin becomes dry, and when it is humid, our skin becomes moist and supple. If loneliness is a temporary condition based on an incomplete understanding of what we are made of, we can think of its presence as a catalyst for exploring our ideas about reality. We can respond by testing the boundaries we believe separate us from the life within and all around us. If we test them, we will discover that they are not so solid after all, and that we can never really be alone.
No, that's a great message. I know a lot of us can, struggle sometimes with, feeling lonely or whatever, but, and it resonates especially with me because I'm somebody who likes my alone time, but I can take it to extremes sometimes and you feel a bit isolated. But, like the end of the message said, you're never truly alone. And that's something that I always do tell myself, even when I do have those types of moments of doubt and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it goes pretty deep. The whole skin and the air begins. That's a lot for me to take in. But I will say this much. I do know some people struggle with loneliness. And I think that the essence of what the eye-opener is saying in terms of pushing boundaries is an important one. And sometimes that boundary is reaching out to someone, a loved one, a family, a friend. Sometimes it's a counselor if you are a bit depressed. And I think for me, that's where the construct of being able to see that you are never alone in the world, no matter how lonely you feel, is perhaps the most important. The truth is, though, we all feel it. Sometimes you're lonely in a crowded room.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I was going to say. That, you spoke about boundaries and a lot of them are just mental, self-imposed. So getting actually past those things is a lot of the time just a bit of changing your mentality or an adjustment in how you view stuff.
Absolutely. All right, so we hope that you enjoyed your morning motivation for today, and if you were feeling particularly lonely, we hope that it helped you today as well. All right, so we got a bit to chit-chat about, and I don't know if you've been paying attention. So the leadership campaign for the United Democratic Party is currently in swing. We had the launch of the second candidate for leadership.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been keeping up, and I think it's definitely going to be an interesting race to watch leading up into things. I mean, politics is always interesting here, and especially with next year being our, election year,
Yeah.
things are going to get really exciting pretty soon, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And of course, with that comes campaigning and manifestos and all of the new things that promises that we can expect from politicians.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're going to be trying to send a message that resonates with people.
And so, what resonates with you in a campaign?
Well, I think the messages that tend to resonate with me the most are really innovative ideas, and especially stuff that sort of challenges the status quo and looks at thinking outside of the box and new things that can solve our problems.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for creativity and a change from what we usually hear. What about you?
No, I'm just laughing because I'm waiting to see those too.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the leadership campaign is really just for the party itself. But we do have to pay attention because whoever is elected as the leader will be the candidate who potentially be prime minister next year. And so I know a lot of eyes are on this campaign. Seems that it's getting a bit testy in some of the public comments that were made. But, in terms of campaign messaging, I'm going to say, I don't know how much thought goes into the campaign messaging. It's just a whole lot of, show the candidate walking in the street with people in colored T-shirts next to them. They shake hands, they hug a baby, and that's it. Even the words, I mean, there's very rare when you actually hear a message that comes with it. It's usually just like a local song or a popular song in the background. Or we're
better than the alternative because or that the alternative is worse than us. That tends to be the message usually.
I mean, I don't know what viewers think about this. I don't know how much they pay attention. You guys pay attention to the ads that air when it comes to the campaign season and what really sticks out to you. So, definitely we encourage you to chime in and tell us what kind of campaign messages actually connect with you. I guess for me, it's just I'm waiting to see campaign ads with messages.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll tell you how it resonates. Because for now, it's a bit lackluster.
I do tend to agree, which is why I also think that going back to what I said earlier, what my focus on is innovation.
Yeah.
I think it's really been interesting just to watch the parallel, as a parallel what's sort of going on in the United States right now.
Yeah.
Especially in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
We see all different candidates, and a lot of them are offering completely different ideas from the other, from Joe Biden to Elizabeth Warren to Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang is one of the people who I like to follow because a lot of his ideas are so interesting and outside of the box.
And very innovative, yeah.
Exactly. So whether or not I, agree at the end of the day, I like that I'm listening to something that I've never heard before.
Yeah, and I think they focus a lot on issues. They focus a lot on, I guess, target demographics that they're working to connect with. They use a lot of emotion, what are the issues that are affecting you and how will I change it? So, that's our morning tea for today. Campaign messages that resonate with you. And feel free to share your thoughts with us or on our Facebook page at Open Your Eyes BZ, and send us a message and we'll post it as well, and we can get the conversation started. But speaking of which, we got to get our conversation started.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've got a great show lined up for you today. Our first guest, you all know him. It's Belize's very own journalist, Candice Gibson, and he's going to be talking to us all about the 14th annual film festival.
And there he is, pretending to be polite.
I didn't realize the camera was on.
That's right. So Candice is here for our first conversation. The second conversation, bioeconomy in Belize. There's some consultants working in looking at opportunities that exist in Latin America and the Caribbean. And so they're working to be able to build the roadmap for bioeconomy. And we're going to get all the details about what they're doing in the second part of the show.
And for our last item, we are going to be learning all about some delicious Lebanese recipes. And we're going to be joined by Chef Roger. So you all know him, you all know his food, more importantly, which is delicious.
And if you don't, you should.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Just, I hope I can grab a bite.
I definitely sense the excitement there, Gavin.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we have lined up for you today. We're going to go ahead and take a break. But before we do, we're going to leave you with the birthday shout out. And today we are saying a happy birthday to
Jay McDonald. So a very, very happy birthday to you from all of us here at Open Your Eyes on Channel 5. We hope you enjoyed today.
That's right. And with that, we'll take a break and we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned. And we're back.
Yeah. And, and so, yeah, joining us now, as we said earlier, is our own Candice Gibson, who is a journalist and news reporter for MSNBC and NBC News. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Welcome to you,
Thank you.
the newbie.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Poor thing, he doesn't know what he's in for.
Yeah, but luckily we're here to talk about you and not me.
That's what you think.
Yeah. So, you're here to talk about the film festival. How has that been how are you looking forward to that so far?
It opened up last night.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do it about a year ago. This is the 14th year for the film festival. And just because of scheduling and such, I didn't make it. So we planned this out a long time ago. These are my days off now during the week. And just opened it up at Bliss Theater, and it was really great because I used to play, they do Festival of the Arts, I guess, still. And I distinctly remember being on that stage. They still have the
At
piano
the Bliss.
At the Bliss.
Yeah.
Doing Festival of the Arts. And I forget what form I was in. Like really early.
Yeah.
And my class foolishly decided instead of a group event, they were going to have me be the performer for the class. And I go up there, play my thing, come off stage. It was completely the wrong thing. Completely had stage fright.
Well, now we know you're really Belizean because you have a Festival of Art story.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
And you can remember being on stage at the Bliss.
and bombing at Bliss.
Well, I'm sure there's video of that somewhere. Yeah.
This was a long time ago.
But
Some guy may be shooting it. He was under the hood with the little.
all right, so we won't ask up how you aged over time. But you did say it is your time off right now, and I know that you are here to be a part of the film festival. But it's a great opportunity to catch up with you and your work. And the last time you were here, you only left us with a tease that you were leaving ABC and that you had other things coming. Now we know that you are the weekend anchor for MSNBC. Tell us about the big changes this year.
I've gotten sleep.
Because you used to have a 3 a.m. morning run.
Yeah, I used to go into the office at 10 p.m. at night and then be on air from 1:30 till 4:30 in the morning for 3.5 years. I don't know how. That was rough. I still don't know how you guys do it. Isn't it your anniversary?
Oh, anniversary's coming up, in 2 weeks.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
2 weeks. What
11
are we doing?
years.
Party? 11 years.
Yeah.
For Open Your Eyes.
Party.
11 years no sleep.
Yeah, Team No Sleep for 11 years. Yeah, nah, y'all can have that. So it's been fun. I work at MSNBC. This has been a crazy year, of course, for it. With Mueller report, then impeachment came out of nowhere. The administration has been a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. And so, I've inherited a team. I have a team that I work with and of producers, and I have 2 hours every weekend day.
Yeah. Lots of live interviews.
Lots of live interviews.
Lots of breaking news. We have the campaign launches taking place usually on the weekends as well, so you're covering that. And that's really what I wanted to know about. The intrigue I have is in being able to kind of host these live interviews. There's so many different issues. I mean, you got to keep people aware of what they've said before on social media. We know that you've been very critical and on point with that. But it's just constantly changing and constantly keeping people accurate on air.
Which is tough.
Yes.
Because a lot of people lie.
Yes.
I'm not going to say
Plainly.
but on both sides.
Yeah.
I was interviewing Kamala Harris just about a couple weekends ago, and I know that she has a spotty records when it comes to criminal justice reform, and there are a lot of people in the black community who kind of look at her with the side eye for criminal justice reform.
Yeah.
But you try coming for her, and it's a prosecutor that's going to come after you on TV.
Yeah.
And if you're tough with some of them, their audience they'll come for you as well. The Yang Gang, you were talking about Andrew Yang. Now they are like a swarm.
Yeah.
Where you can't say anything negative about Andrew Yang or question any of them. But we have a team of producers who are hopefully real-time fact-checking anybody that we have on air, and they'll get in our ear, as you know, and say something immediately. But
what is it like for you? I mean, because it's a change from the format you were doing the 3 years before. You were keeping people awake, up to date with news, a lot of high energy and fun.
We were dancing, we were singing.
Costumes,
Oh, yeah.
Now it's suit and tie all the time.
I know, right? If it means anything, I'm not wearing anything down low.
It's a morning show.
So I'm not wearing anything down low. So it helps. But no, it's a completely different, I kind of called it adulting. So, you know, it just is, I don't think like my personality is completely gone with this new TV project, but the really, really, really important times in our country. So it's kind of nice to be able to be there and be on the forefront of this.
What are the challenges for you in terms of keeping up?
Well, yesterday we had all these depositions in the impeachment inquiry that comes out, and I've learned the art of speed reading and speed retention. And if you're reading like hundreds and hundreds of pages of documents, and some of it is technical, and there are different names that are flying at you, and a lot of them are Russian names, Yovanovitch, Volker, Sondland, and I'm like, whoa, okay, cool, yeah. But when I first started it, I used to I'd do the show on Sunday, and then Monday would be like, all right, you know what, I'm just going to fry my brain. I'm going to watch A Real Housewife or something. But then come Thursday, you're like...
Cramming.
Yeah, exactly, for an exam. So now I just do not check out at all. It doesn't matter. It's just I constantly consume.
And how does it feel, like, since you're at MSNBC, to be, you know, going back to the conversation about fact-checking and stuff, that you're on a network which is, you know, regularly, you know, attacked by the president, you know, and, you know, called fake news. What's that like? What's that like, and does it affect your approach to your work in any way?
No, I mean, the president attacks a lot of people, and attacks a lot of people as fake news. His former attorney general, Jeff Sessions, is going to announce that he's going to run for Senate again in Alabama, and the president supposedly is going to run against him. So, I guess if you're an enemy of the president, then, you know, you're doing something good, I guess, at times. But, yeah, we're like, while I might be on the weekend, the possibility of the President of the United States being at home in the office with nothing else to do but to be on Twitter and to attack and get his millions of people on you is there. So you're constantly of that mindset. And constantly of the mindset that you're representing this huge network. So
what is
pressure.
I was going to ask, what is the vibe of the network like, you know, considering all of that?
Oh, it's like that scene from Boomerang. Actually, it kind of is. Do you remember? I don't know if you're too young for the movie Boomerang. So are you. But Boomerang, it was this movie about the black advertising company. Eddie Murphy was in it. The dad that just died. You got to coordinate. You can't just have the mushroom belt. You got to have. Nah. Okay. The actor. No. No.
Okay.
Crickets.
That's
Stephanie claims.
That's falling flat. Yeah,
Producer
claiming,
Stephanie
right? Yeah.
claims she does. She's like, yeah, it's great. We're wasting our airtime. Keep going. Anyway, where you walk through, Marcus, or Eddie Murphy's character, walked through the office, and it's like, whoa, the executive's black, this is black, this is black. Seriously, when I walked through NBC, and we're right at 30 Rockefeller Center, I'm like, wow, our senior executive producer is black, my boss is a black lesbian, wow, Latino VP. And it's like, I mean, we overcame and nobody told me. I'm still over there singing like "We Shall Overcome." But it's a very diverse work environment. And the equipment is just stupid. It's like our studio, and I encourage you to come and let me know and visit. The studio is just really, really nice. It's in the same building as Saturday Night Live. And so on any random day, you will see some of the actors from SNL coming in. There's Jimmy Fallon is done out of that building. Do you know the group The Roots?
Yeah.
Okay, so The Roots performs on Jimmy Fallon every night. You will know when they are in the building because you will smell them in the elevator.
Okay.
Because the boys do not respect any sort of weed smoking.
Yeah, that's where you were going.
You're like, yeah, I'm getting a contact high in this elevator. Nope, the Roots are in the building.
Yeah. Does it make you trip over your words sometimes when you're
Now we'll be watching. Yeah. But I think the point that Gavin made is so critical. The issue of the attack on the media in the U.S. I mean, we watch from outside of the U.S. and it's just stunning. I think we're accustomed to kind of how politics works here and attacks work here.
But politics works smoothly here.
But we expect better. We've come to expect better from the United States.
Why?
And now watching the president that you do have and watching how there is just this growing public distrust in the media. And it trickles down. It trickles to other countries as well. We never used to have anybody talk about fake news. Now we have 1-2 politicians starting to throw it out. And so it becomes a construct that people start to buy into.
Well, it's a playbook that works. If you look at Brazil, it's what Bolsonaro, the president there, has done. It is a similar playbook that other people are using all around the world because they see that it worked and they see that it can debunk plenty of theories. So, I could completely understand why many politicians would try to take that playbook. But listen, the president, at least our president, has a 42% approval rating. The media has a 45% approval rating in the United States. We'll still take that. Congress has a 20% approval rating. So we're still a little bit more trusted than a lot of these politicians.
But it is an area of concern, I know, from most media houses, and they're working on how they can help to build the trust of the people once again. You recently moderated a panel with journalism students looking at this very same issue with producers and editors from different media houses. What are some of the takeaways there?
We're screwed.
I'm pretty sure that's not what they said.
Though, you know what? Whenever I do moderating something like that, and I went to my alma mater, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I'm more curious about what the young people that are out there think of the media landscape as much as putting out whatever knowledge I have. Because we're all in this little crazy thing together right now, especially because there are so many different platforms when it comes to YouTube and social media, that those are all where content is being put out there and is being received. We're all in this information or misinformation war together. And so at that particular conference, we talked about the proliferation of fake news, and we asked the question of whether or not who's more responsible for it, President Trump or Facebook. And it spawned a debate, but it's a tough one because Facebook right now is refusing to take down fake ads.
That's right.
They're just like, we about that check. So it's
well, I think their argument is more like personal responsibility. I think it seems to be that's what they're saying. But I don't, their entire organizations now starting up talking about literacy, like news literacy, how to differentiate between fake news and real news. That baffles me,
But there's a responsibility as well, I think, and I'm not knocking Facebook necessarily, and I understand they need to get that bag, but I feel as if there is a responsibility to kind of help guide us through, because not everybody knows what is fake and real, and especially even with technology nowadays, there are many different things that morph into each other.
Well, do you think it makes your job harder then? Because now you've got the proliferation of all these fake stories. Do you have to, does it then fall back on the media to sort of respond to these to things like that?
Well, for us, we have, and it can be frustrating sometimes, we have a standards and guidance department that nothing goes on air that hasn't been cleared through this department. So I'll be there many, many times, and it's happened to me with the El Paso shooting and the shooting that took place in Dayton, Ohio the following day, where I was on air and it was happening real time during my schedule.
Yeah.
And I am just sitting there and just like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I see this online. Why isn't this video cleared? Why isn't
Yeah.
this information cleared?
Yeah.
So we have the strict standard for what can go on air.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we're getting beaten by the competition and all of it.
Well, it's better to be accurate than first.
Because it just takes one mistake. And
Yes.
then you'll have politicians who will just kind of point out, your fake news, here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, particularly at your network or even CNN, a lot of the coverage then tends to be focused on the president has tweeted X or this story has come out, but it's wrong because of X, Y, and Z, or this is what actually happened because so.
CNN's got some good shade with their banner. The president has tweeted this. That's not true. You know what? We try not to necessarily, because his Twitter machine, and it's not necessarily just him, they put out a lot of tweets and information. And so is it news? Not necessarily. We try not to just put it out there.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes it can become like a smokescreen. You stop talking about the major issues because there was this one wild tweet that came out.
Absolutely.
At least that's how I feel as a viewer. But Candice, I think it's such a critical time what's taking place in the United States. And what is it like for you? Do you feel the immensity of the pressure that it's almost every time you're on air, it's history being made, it's critical news. Sometimes it's the first time you have this type of scandal, the first time you have these types of lies. Do you feel that, in the moment?
I didn't feel it until you brought it up.
Okay. Yes.
So no pressure.
I'm going to see how you work on Saturday.
All stressed out. No, we are living in times that, everything is for the history book, but these are definitely defining years when it comes to this democracy and this country, 270 plus years into it.
Yeah.
These are not World War II type-esque times, but 60s, the 1960s, this era right now. Because this administration in 3 years has done many, many things that will have an impact for generations when it comes to the judges, and beyond. Like a quarter of the judges that are one level below the Supreme Court are all Trump appointees, and of the same mindset as Scalia's and Alito's, the more conservative justices. So while the mantra might be "Make America Great," those justices will make America great again, in whatever that again
whenever
is.
Whenever it was great,
that,
right?
Yeah, whatever that was. So it's a really, really pivotal moment in the country, like it or not. Hopefully it's all for the good in the end. We'll see.
But it's interesting that you say that, especially in the context of Marlene's earlier question, talking about smokescreen issues.
Yeah.
When you, how do you, I guess, balance then reporting on stories that maybe may have the flashiest headlines or may just grab it, and then when you dig deeper and you look at what what may be occurring like on the side, or how do you choose what to focus on then? Because a lot of things like the federal judges things, and a lot of, for example, you hear every now and again. As like let's say you turn on the news, you hear a bunch of different headlines, and there are stories that such and such a law has been passed or repealed. Those things have real consequences, but there's not as much follow-up sometimes when you have these constant crazy headlines thing, there's tweets, there's he's done this at this international conference, there, or this senator has done X, Y, and Z, when you don't look at sort of the more how do we follow up and look at the effects then of some of the deeper stuff that does occur.
That was a 3-minute question.
I
know. Wait, so what?
Going deeper,
Yeah.
No, well, I meant in the sense that we hear a lot of headlines that may focus on...
You didn't know what you were in for.
Yeah, we focus a lot on stuff that, or the stuff that grabs headlines, at least from our perspective, from an outside perspective then, is it does focus on a lot of, the president, a lot of his behavior, a lot of what he does, because a lot of it is outrageous, we can't ignore that.
Yeah.
But when you have something like federal judges being appointed, who are of a very conservative inclination, the effects of that are real and can be felt. Or you can even talk about the situation at the border, family separation, and there's, at least from a lot of the coverage we hear, there's still a lot of missing information, a lot of questions we don't know. There's the numbers of children and families and stuff that we don't know. So how do you make sure or ensure that you follow up on
on the other stuff?
On stuff like that.
It is tough. We straddle the fence on that. We still are a money-making business and a ratings business, and we get a sense of what we have to straddle the fence of, like, what's important and also what will rate and what's important, and how do we make that important story interesting to our viewers. And so that's a really tough thing, and the great thing is it's a discussion that we have. Like, I love being in our newsroom and in our meetings, and that we have these
fiery
adult
discussions.
just like an adult
Should we be
discussion.
covering this? Are we on?
And how do we cover it?
Yes.
And like,
do viewers want to see it? But viewers need to see it.
Yes, exactly. Like, is this something that within our wheel well, as we would say? And it's just like you walk away from that meeting, and I'm like, wow, this, because you know the weight of what you're putting out there. And so it's one of those things that we discuss all the time, and I don't know that we have an answer for it.
So we've kept you on topic of work for a while, so we're keeping your wheels turning. But we got to talk about the film festival as well.
Yes, let's talk
and
about
so
the film
you
festival.
got you were invited. You hosted a red carpet, hosted the event, and so
it was like a surprise. It was a pop-up red carpet.
It was a pop quiz.
Yes,
just testing if you really do work on TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the red carpet. You're going to do the red carpet.
So what was that like? Just the whole experience of the film festival. It's our 14th.
Cool. It's the 14th. I don't know if you've done it. Have you done it?
Have I hosted it?
Have you been to it?
I've been to some of the earlier ones.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, we didn't have it, obviously, or we didn't have that here. We had like one movie in Belize, Mosquito Coast, that was shot here, and that was a big deal for years. And we were disappointed when it wasn't even nominated for anything. We're like, it's the best movie. It wasn't that good. But so to be able to come along and to see what they've been able to put together, and it being the 14th edition, 18th year for it. We skipped a couple of years. And to see so many awesome films. Last night, there was a really short movie that was produced, made here in Belize, in Placentia, called My Father Belize. And 30-minute story, and it was funny. It was shot very well. It was, the cinematography was great, the script was great, the actors were absolutely fantastic, including like this little 5-year-old kid that reminds me of the little boy from Lion, the movie. I don't know if you saw Lion way back when. it was just really, really impressive. And except for the Creole portions, you would not have even thought that it was a Belize story, produced story from the start to the finish. And that was the opening night film, and it was just really impressive for me to be able to see how far along we've come, and that we have like a legit film industry. There were some location scouts from the U.S. who were there as well, and we'll be spending the next few days traveling around the country and trying to figure out, okay, we could do this. This could be. And they were mentioning last night, if we were shooting something that needs to be New Orleans, Belize could double as parts of New Orleans, parts of the Bayou. In Louisiana, they could do Africa, or African shoots here. Mexico with the Mayan ruins and such. It gives them a number of different varieties for locations, and it's expensive, and it gets a variety of people paid, and you have the mix of culture that helps them out as well. So it's kind of cool to be able to see that we have this happening here.
Definitely, and I know that we have been working really hard to get the industry going. We have some Belizeans here. In fact, there's 2 or 3 shorts. No, there's more than that. Shorts that are produced by Belizeans. They're going to be in the festival, and we keep on seeing interest. So that's great as well.
There are some 57 feature-length and feature documentary movies and shorts that are part of the 4-day festival. A lot of the movies will be playing at Princess over the next couple of days. Princess has been a partner, but also like in Placencia at the Tipsy
Tuna.
Of course you know it.
Yeah, I like fish.
What about the tipsy part?
You said that. But, I think it's interesting that we love having you here and talking to you. And you have definitely been coming back and helping out in different areas. Why is this still a passion for you? I mean, you got a pretty busy schedule.
I get to look at you.
You only visit once a year.
That's more than most men.
You were saying.
I don't remember.
You drank the water in Belize and you keep on coming back. Because the first time you came, it was after 11 years.
And I was talking to one of my brothers who's down here right now. And I was talking with him about it and why many of my other brothers haven't come back in so long. And, the time just goes by quickly. And then once you come back, it's like, why not? Of course. We have to. So it's... You drink the water, you eat the conch fritters, which is in season right now, which I've had a lot of. And you just you enjoy it again, and you realize that it is a homecoming, and people from like the airport elsewhere, they're just so welcoming.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, does it feel like home, when you do?
It does. It doesn't physically feel like home, but from a people standpoint, it feels, I'm like, we're the same people. But from a physical standpoint, as I look around, I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. But the familiarity comes back with the people. Like, I don't feel any different than anybody else. And that's the cool part. It is trippy now. We've come along, I was saying this, Stuart, who was at Naya, and his son, Aaron, the owners of Naya Resort, I was down there a couple of days ago. It's still trippy for me to see white people who have better Creole than I do.
Oh, yeah. You got to work on that. In fact, the next time you come on the show, I think we'll do the whole interview in Creole.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I'd beat you on that.
No, you have to say it a little bit louder.
I think I'd beat you on that.
Yeah, no, but
the Lebanese food isn't.
Yeah, we're proud of what you are doing. You did grow up in Belize, and you moved when you were a bit older. How much do you pay attention to what's happening here in the news, or do you have like issues that concern you, or things that you see?
I pay vicariously through my mother, who watches every day. She knew I was like, why?
Good morning, Mom.
Belito was my age last night. I had forgotten that Bolito was still a thing.
Yes.
And she Facebook messaged me. She's like, Bolito was your age. Like, okay, did you play? She's like, no, we can't play up there. Then why do you know Bolito was my age? Listen.
It's just a thing that we do.
So she pays attention to everything, and I log on to you all. I see when you're live. I get the alerts, and I watch from afar, and I keep in touch and try to figure out what's going on. Some of the major issues. There are some environmental issues that are big right now. It seems as if crime has gone down a little bit, which is good. And the election race is kind of fun. The leadership race is fun.
Yeah. Oh, you have been paying attention then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was one certain person that I thought was the heir apparent, but I guess that person isn't necessarily. I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
No names.
That's politics. Well, that's politics, right?
That's
Yeah,
politics.
House of Cards type thing.
It's a good break from your
Yeah, exactly. I was just
your
watching.
political drama.
But it's kind of fun to watch, and I've kept in touch with the administration, the local administration as well, and it's good.
All right. Well, Candice, we're grateful that you stopped in this morning. We know you had a late night last night.
It wasn't that late. Don't make it sound like I was like up partying. I was up partying.
Okay.
Not at
But
all.
we appreciate you stopping in
It's
and
good to see
definitely
you.
having this conversation live on air. People watch you being serious on MSNBC. They know the comedian behind the scenes.
Well, I appreciate that you didn't force me to dance, force me to do Creole.
Oh, wait.
Force me to no.
But this segment isn't over yet.
Yes, it is. You're rapping.
Yeah.
I see producer Stephanie like rap.
Yeah. No, actually,
Rap.
did you know about our show KTV Latino?
KTV Latino.
Yeah, you sing in Spanish.
I can speak in tongues.
All right. And with that,
Come on
we're
in.
going to let you off the hook.
Come
you got
on,
some
Stephanie.
crew. Yeah, no, Stephanie's off.
Stephanie, come on.
No, she's not going to come.
Come on. I'm trying to get the
See,
producer.
he even did it in Creole. It's great having you here, Candice. Thank you
good
for
to be
stopping in, and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. Good to be here. Welcome.
Thank
I
you.
hope you last.
Yeah.
She
I hope
goes
so
through
too.
her men like.
I hope we caught that.
I'm just, we're going to get you off here. So let's just stop right there. So it was great having you. We'll check you out on Saturday, of course, on MSNBC. Do you know who your interviewing is yet on Saturday?
I'm not sure. I'm in D.C. on Sunday because of the impeachment inquiry starting. So, fun times.
All right, so there you get to see the serious Candice. For now, we're going to let this one go and continue to go get some fried chocolate comforters or something. We'll take a break,
don't
and
come out with
when we
food.
come back, we're shifting gears to talking about bioeconomy opportunities in Belize. So please, stay tuned.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Now, if you're joining us right now, we are joined by representatives of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, or ICA, and they are here to talk to us about building a roadmap to a bioeconomy for Belize. We are joined by Willie Chan, who is the Belize Technical Coordinator for ICA, the ICA delegation in Belize. Also, Gabriela Quiroga, who is a Bioeconomy and Productive Development Program for ICA, and Elizabeth Hudson de Jaramillo, who is a consultant and the chair on bioeconomy and sustainable development of ICA. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So perhaps we can jump right into the conversation by let's define, or for our viewers, what exactly we mean by bioeconomy. Anybody can join in.
Sure.
Maybe Willie.
Well, by what we define in simple terms with bioeconomy is maximizing the use of our resources. That's the simplest term I could imagine of.
Yeah.
Gabriela?
I would complete it a bit.
Yes.
Because bioeconomy is a way of life. It's an approach to make much more efficient and sustainable the use of our resources, biological, and by means of adding knowledge, like technologies, new technologies to add value, processing the food, to maintain for more time the value of the natural product.
Yeah, yeah. This is, I think what is critical about talking about bioeconomy is that it perhaps responds to one of the concerns people have in looking at, okay, we want to be environmentally friendly, we want to be conscious of how we're using things, but we also have an economy to worry about, and we need to know that there is going to be money moving around in the country. Is that the case?
Yeah, you are right, because the main concern is our planet.
Yes.
And sustainable development goals.
Yes.
But the principal point is that it's profitable. So you are having resources, money resources, to conserve natural resources.
Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah.
What you're doing in this workshop is looking at the opportunities that do exist. And I know that you have worked in Latin America. There are other countries that have found very innovative ways to make money from the natural resources. Is Belize unique in where we are? Because it feels that we're still trying to explore ways to capitalize on what we know we're blessed with.
Sure. We started this work last year in November. The first thing we started to do was creating awareness because, for many people, the word itself, bioeconomy, was something new. They were like, what's bioeconomy? What does this mean? What does it entail? So we wanted to raise that awareness. So last year we did a workshop, and this year we have done 3 workshops so far, continue raising awareness, and now we are trying to identify, as you have mentioned, what are the opportunities that we have available. And yes, each country is different, so there's not like a recipe that you could give a country and say, hey, use this to develop your bioeconomy. No, we have to look at what they have, their conditions, environmental, social, political, legal aspects. So we have to look at those things.
Yeah.
And this is the type of things that we do at ICA, basically, to get inspired from other processes in other parts of Latin America, of course, but worldwide, how they're doing to really introduce and embed their own realities into this new approach that is called bioeconomy, that we found out that we have been doing for so long already. Probably we have been, introducing this concept, but as Willie was saying, and Elizabeth, we're really trying to see what the opportunities are within the country, and letting and helping and supporting the Belizeans and the Ministry of Agriculture, of course, to discover your own way, because we're here, to support those processes from the main opportunities that there are in the country.
And so far, based on your work, how do you think Belize is doing? We have a lot of natural resources. We have a lot of free open space. We have a lot of different types of resources as well. Are we maximizing it? What are we? Exactly. That already. I guess I should let you take it from there, because we already have a reaction to that question. How? Yeah. So how are we doing?
Well, I think, you have lots of opportunities.
Yeah.
And you have a very special one. Well, if we are talking about bioeconomy, we are talking about biomass, biological mass, which is everything.
Yes.
And is based in agriculture for the biomass production. But you also have an additional one, and you are very important in agriculture, and you have several opportunities, like in fruits, adding value, not exporting just commodities, but adding value locally, so the local communities will benefit from this. But the other one, a huge, enormous one, is the tourism. And we are trying to introduce the idea of scientific tourism, because common tourists will sometimes spoil the environment. If we work much more and more strongly in scientific tourism, they will teach us how to conserve, and then we can expand the whole thing, but with the conservation concept. So you have a lot of things, and I think you can add some more of the things we have thought about.
Just before you do, though, we got to explore this more. Scientific tourists?
Of course.
What do they do? What do they
For
do?
conservation, the reef. My God.
So they come to see it.
Natural resources.
Yeah.
All these conservation areas and preserve the parts.
Yeah.
Even bird watching.
Yes.
So you have to learn a lot. You will teach communities about their surrounding resources, and they will be guides. So it's a huge opportunity, as I said.
You know, one of the things that we have identified is, for example, the rural communities that are within the protected areas, the buffer communities. You know, with agriculture now, you have a lot of intrusion into the protected areas, so we want to try and see how we can create a model of regenerative agriculture, how we could at the same time conserve but also receive some of the services that the ecosystem has to provide us.
And you know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because I think internationally, one of the trends that at least I've been seeing is, since you talk about, you know, rural communities or even indigenous communities who for, you know, thousands of years have developed some sort of sustainable practices in terms of using, you know, what they have around them, you know, whether it's, you know, the trees and the leaves, and to make, you know, household items, and to even to develop as a community. I think just an example that I've seen recently popping up internationally is, you know, in terms of food packaging, using you know, leaves or things like that.
That's how we make our tamales.
I think that's a great example. Is that an area that you've looked at as well, and that Belize can maximize or, you know, develop more?
Definitely, because with bioeconomy, what we are looking at is decarbonizing the economy, moving from fossil-based to a more bio-based, and this is where all the generation of bio-based products come. For example, the biodegradable, you have biopharmaceuticals, so you have a number of things that you could develop from the bioeconomy.
I want to add, I'm sorry.
No, please, it's a living room conversation.
About this. No, the thing is, yes, and you are so right, because we have to learn from biological wisdom and also from the community's wisdom, because they are the best ones to teach us how to preserve and how to use in a circular way everything. Because one of the parts of bioeconomy is to reduce the waste production. We don't have waste. We have co-products or byproducts which can be used for another things. So we reduce a lot this waste or no waste in this circular way, the circular economy, and local communities are the best teachers for this.
And a challenge though, because we have been running this workshop with different public and private stakeholders, and we were just discussing yesterday, is that it's about the human talent and the human capabilities and abilities that you will need to go around bioeconomy in the proper way. For instance, yesterday we have been, showing and sharing different examples of young people and how do they start? They start taking risks. They start, exploring new businesses. So it was also, just to recall the name of your program as well, an eye-opener on how much we need, people with this open mentality and really keen to explode their creativity to get into bioeconomy business, basically. Yes.
What is the starting point? What was the best starting point? Because I hear quite a bit in terms of, I just skimmed through this publication you've given me, but you're looking at biofuel, you could look at artificial intelligence to be able to help to create and generate new ideas. But then there's also tradition, and we have some pretty good traditions and beliefs. We were talking about the banana leaves, for example. We already use that as a part of packaging sometimes. But I think of things like deforestation, which we're trying to work towards. And I've always wondered, and perhaps you can shed light, carbon credits seems like one of the easiest ways to be able to generate an income. It's being paid for the trees that let go oxygen into the air, which we need. It cleans up the air. What about ideas like that? Being able to make money off of what already exists?
That's exactly what regenerative agriculture entails.
Okay.
When we speak about this, is trying to minimize the negative impact that we have on our land system, on our forest system, so that we could at the same time be producing. We have different methodologies, for example, integrated soil fertility management. We have the use of organic materials, composting. We have the use now of different legumes that could bring back nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil. So those are things that we can introduce, into the regenerative agriculture.
Yeah.
Yes, I will have to add something.
Yes, sure.
The key point of this is that bioeconomy is not an activity. It's not a science. It's not a discipline. It's a way of life. It's a political decision. So the important thing is that everyone must be involved and everyone must be committed to it. That's why we need you to increase the awareness of people, of all the society, to participate in all these efforts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And there are economic opportunities.
Of course, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Wasted opportunities.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking precisely of that, waste. You said composting, and I'm just thinking to myself, I did that in school, like we kind of learned a little bit of how to do it, and it was just a skill you learned and you stopped.
No, continue.
No, I know. And it's kind of practices like that we don't adopt as a regular part of our life that could help reduce our own expenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we normally see that, as something that we are throwing away. And yes, we had also in this workshop these people representing a restaurant. And they saying that they're trying to, of course, minimize waste. That is one way of, getting into bioeconomy. But also from what we traditionally consider something that we waste or we throw it away, how you could transform it and get a new product. And this is all about bioeconomy as well. There's always this, potential of transformation into a new product.
Now, how do you said the workshop is about exploring opportunities. Who's present and who are you trying to engage in this process?
We have present private stakeholders, we have the public stakeholders, we have government officials, we have different ambassadors also that have been attending the workshop. So we are catering, yes, an academy, of course.
Yes, already.
So we are catering to as much persons as we can as possible.
Yeah. And what's been the interest?
Oh, it's very,
Yes, I think we
Very
were
high.
fascinated yesterday to see them, how they have been interacting and
They are so
discussing.
enthusiastic. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Because it's being able to kind of build the connection, bioeconomy, it sounds so
Yes.
foreign, like a brand new concept. But when you break it down the way you just have here,
Yes.
we're all thinking of opportunities, aren't you, Gavin?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think also, since you spoke about public stakeholders and the government's role, what about, in terms of their part to play in terms of, actually, putting together, like, for instance, a regulatory framework or, even incentives to
Yeah.
make people in the country do this, whether it's in the form of making more people recycle or reduce, or actually being proactive about putting a policy towards that. Do you find that here the people that you've met with so far are also really interested in actually moving forward in that manner?
yes, it is. And that's precisely what's going to be the next step. After this, awareness and sensitization of the public is going in to see how we could, with the roadmap, fit it into a national strategy, policy development, and a legal framework as well. And of course, we had the ambassador of Mexico with us yesterday, and he has welcomed this initiative also, and to connect not just the agriculture, but the country itself with the Mexican counterparts, so that we could identify different opportunities that we could capitalize on.
Yeah.
Exactly. And actually, yes, I was going to add that the methodology that Elizabeth is leading, basically, it's, allowing all the participants to analyze how, different dimensions like the environmental, social, economical, technical, legal, and so forth are really, positioning certain critical factors. And one thing that they had mentioned yesterday that it did surprise us, it was that participants said that some of the legal framework, the enabling environment is there actually. But, there's still this challenge of putting it to work and see how it's going to, merge into different businesses and really supporting new income for the farmers in this case.
How do you push them? Push them past the threshold of you start to understand, generate ideas, but it seems still far-fetched. How do you?
No. The thing is, there are lots of things we already have. You already have. So it's like push the social responsibility and to get all around it. And remember that this is a political, legal, but the whole society must be committed. And it's just open your eyes and see you are doing it. You have it. Improve it. Rationalize it and make it in a circular economy. And that's it. It's no problem. It's the very easy way to survival and to save the planet.
So we know the planet benefits. How do the people benefit?
Because you are making new businesses. You are creating decent jobs. You are generating income, especially in the local level. Because you are adding value, you are processing or transforming locally, so you can add value, and the benefits, the economical benefits, will come to this society. So that is the way to do it. That's why we are so enthusiastic.
I'm sure. So tell me from your perspective, you arrive in Belize, you look around, you do your research, you see all the wealth that we have. What's perhaps one idea that sparked that you think could be put into effect tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
To transform like banana, let's take banana, to transform, not just to export the whole thing, the commodity, but to add value to use flour to make some chips and sell them to these type of things. And you can start this circular economy, and the benefits will go to the local people.
So instead of having
So
a
it's
waste
easy.
product from banana,
Yeah.
Yes.
And even with the peels, you can make a biofilm and make bioplastics, biodegradable packaging. See?
I love your enthusiasm. Yeah, because we think of the one target market you're
And
going
so
after.
this will be so highly, it will demand so much money.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
not
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
It depends. You have different levels of technology.
Yeah.
And the other thing we haven't mentioned is that we are getting together knowledge, traditional knowledge,
Yeah.
and new knowledge, so to put them together and to make use of the whole thing.
Sure. Just to give an example, we have, for example, the citrus industry. First, it
Yeah.
was just exporting oranges.
Yeah.
Then they went into producing juices. Now they are doing citrus pellet for livestock feed.
Yes.
They're extracting limonene for citrus oil, and they are using the rest of the bagasse for compost. So
Yeah.
there's no waste.
They don't waste
Circular thing.
anything.
There's no waste.
Yeah.
Wow.
No
Okay.
waste. Just by products,
Just by
products for profitable
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, because that was going to be my next question as to whether or not you faced any pushback, or people saying, "Oh no, we don't have enough money," or "This is too much for me." But I think the impression that I get, at least from our conversation, is that people have been very enthusiastic and been trying to embrace, new ideas or new ways of doing things.
Yes.
So where do you go from here? You sit with the stakeholders and you create a roadmap, which is kind of saying these are the areas that we want to venture
People
into.
decided.
Yeah.
The participants have decided. But it's just a model.
Yeah.
Because anyone can follow the same steps
Yeah.
and decide a new business.
Yeah. All right. And then what do we do with it from there?
As I mentioned, then we try and go into the political aspect of it,
Yeah.
trying to put it into a national plan, strategize it. That's the next step.
Okay.
Yes, and we're looking forward that people, take on board and they make their own proposal and see how it goes. We know that next year it's going to be, challenging for the country, but we look forward that still, these new approaches are considered and, taken farther, but by the different stakeholders.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've already.
I think that people can push for the
Yeah.
political decision.
Yeah.
Because if we have very good perspectives, you can push.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think you've already inspired some thought here. I want to know how you make banana chips now.
Very easy
All right.
and cheap.
And you're moving into day 2?
Yes, into day
Yes.
2 of the
Okay.
workshop today.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the products that have been developed by the agro-processing unit of the ministry is the banana powder as an instant powder that you could use to make porridge. That you could use at the school feeding programs, and they are fortifying it with different flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. So
Okay, you just
They-
opened my
they-
eyes to that one.
they have it there. They have the recipe. Everything
Yeah.
is just for someone to say, you know what, I'm gonna mass produce this now.
And I guess people are probably wondering why we're talking so much about bananas. It's because there's only a specific type of
Right.
banana that can be exported. So anything that doesn't meet that standard stays locally.
Stays local.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those are just examples.
Yeah. And they're perfectly good bananas. They're just not,
Yeah.
Right.
according to what
Yeah.
the international markets want.
But I was
Sure.
thinking maybe your chef next time could to use some of those and show
Yeah,
it.
that's a good idea. Never know. All right. So if someone wants to find out more, or even jump in at a late phase today, what do they need to do?
Well, they could reach us at our office at Belompan. Our numbers are 8220222 and 8221087. And they could just ask for information or log on to our website, www.iica.int.
All right. Thank you for coming in, and thank you
you.
for sharing all this information with us and helping us understand that it's not just about creating a bioeconomy, it's about adapting the lifestyle. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you very much.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be joined by Lebanese chef, Chef Roger, as he's going to make some eggplant for us today, right? That's coming up after the break. Please stay tuned.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Joining us now is Chef Roger, who is going to be telling us all about some delicious Lebanese food. So, good morning, Chef.
Good morning, guys. Good
Thanks
morning,
for joining
everybody.
us.
Yeah.
I know I'm excited about this. So, tell us what we're going to be making today.
Today we are introducing some of the eggplant today. We're
Yeah.
going to do two types of eggplant, baba ganoush, and one we call it mutabbal. One it comes with tahini, and the next one will come with vegetables. Let's get started. First of all, I'm going to demonstrate one of the eggplant.
How do
Just
you
have to-
roast eggplant? You've
Yes.
seen this before, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Perfect. This
So you
is,
just put it on the direct fire.
if you have a barbecue, it will be easier outside because it will give little smell inside smoke. So you just have to watch it. And first of all, you just need to make a hole little bit on it.
You put a hole in it so
Yeah.
the steam can come out.
Exactly. First of all, and then we have to
Keep turning.
keep turning. In the
Roger, you
meanwhile,
have to scrub it before, like
no,
wash
just like
it?
that. Of course, I wash
Yeah.
it before we came.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to wash it and then put it on there.
Okay.
I have some here. It's already made. While it's ready, we'll do this one here.
Okay.
So let's just
I'm gonna do it in the old way, how we used to do it before, without the food processor. Maybe someone don't have food processor, we can use that one.
okay.
Right?
So you're gonna go back to some traditional cooking
Exactly.
for us.
Perfect. I do have some mashed garlic here. It's
Sure,
3
right,
cloves.
that kind,
Yes,
yeah.
perfect. It's like 3 cloves. I just mash it, and then we just pour this one on top of that, and then we go just as we just cut.
Because everything tastes
Exactly.
better with garlic.
Right.
Exactly. We just cut till it get smooth.
So what you would have, do you want me to turn your eggplant for you?
It's okay. Still
Yeah?
have more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take for it to get like this, more or less?
This one, like I would say, 3 to 5 minutes should be ready. You just have to turn it.
Yeah.
If you have like the grill on, and one day probably have barbecue on, you just drop one of those like that, and then you have the table and you just cut it and then put some garlic and vegetable on top of it. It's much easier.
You take off the skin?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I will show it right now, of course.
Remember, we're not all chefs, Chef Roger.
Yeah, no problem.
But you got to tell us a bit about what you've been up to. It's been a long time since we've had you here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Well,
now?
we just moved 3 years ago to my new location. It's on Coney Drive, actually. And I start to cook daily. I have a small menu and I can serve every day. We
Yeah.
start from 11 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, 8:30. And then that's it. We have everyday menu.
Yeah.
And on Saturday we have a big day. Still do shawarma every Saturday.
Yeah.
Plus our menu.
Shawarma. What's shawarma?
Shawarma, it's a combination of, if you guys see the tacos machine more or less. Yes, but we have different type of meat. We have the chicken and we have beef, and sometimes we do some lamb. So it's a wrap with same pita bread. We have some ingredient in there so everybody can enjoy.
Right, that's-
Are you surprised at how many people are trying and liking Lebanese food?
Of course, I'm getting every day someone try, and every day I see the same people come actually in the morning and at night to have the same food actually, which is same food or something different. That's what like since I came to Belize, I noticed that a lot of people now they like to try different stuff and
Yeah.
at least healthy food.
Yeah,
What's-
I was gonna ask, what's the most popular thing?
The most popular, actually, I sell my wrap. It's a chicken wrap, and then we have the hummus, which is I brought some today with me just for you.
Yeah. So the chicken wrap, what does it have in there?
The chicken wrap, I normally serve it with garlic, pickles, and fries, and the chicken, of course. But lately, a lot of people want it with vegetables, which we include some tomato, onion,
Oh.
and then and pickles, of course, without the fries. We limit the fries, so it's gonna be great. So
I was
it's,
gonna, you know,
and plus I have the falafel. Falafel is very good actually as well, and vegetarian, pure vegetarian, and then it's healthy. It comes with
What's
falafel.
falafel?
Falafel is made from chickpeas, and then we soak in water overnight, and then next day, maybe another show we can do the falafel.
Yeah, it's a vegetarian
It's
dish.
vegetarian dish and very excellent dish actually.
Oh, it's
it could be a wrap,
delicious.
and normally I advise everyone who want to try the first time the falafel to do the wrap, because when it's one bite you can try. I mean, you can taste everything.
Yeah.
The plate, it's you'll have to just pick around and then just make your own bite.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the most popular. So those are like the most popular things. But what are your favorite things to like cook and to eat?
Actually, I have different. I love eggplant. Yes, I have hummus as well.
Yeah.
Mostly lately now, I'm trying to eat as well as everybody, like most vegetables.
Uh-huh.
Just everybody take care of their health. So I would say. All right, we are good here. If you want,
So that's
if
all
can-
you did. You just,
yes,
it's going to be
you can
so
mash it.
soft that if you chop it, it's like
Yes,
it's mashed.
yes, exactly. So you can have a knife if you don't want to touch it. Just look, it's ready.
It smells great.
It's ready. Perfect. You just remove it now.
And this is the base of
Yes.
what would be
The-
baba ganoush,
Yeah, baba ganoush and mutabbal.
mutabal.
Yes. I'm gonna do it in an easy way because you have to be careful. It's
It's
very
hot.
There's two ways you can do it. One like that, you can just cut it. You can cut this one like that. So like that, you don't have to burn yourself. And then you cut it that way. All right. See? It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Did you see it? This picture. Right here.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then there's another way you can just put it under the water and you just spill it under
Okay.
the pipe and you just spill the skin. You just have to remove the. I'm gonna add it to this one so we
Okay.
have more.
We have some fresh one too.
Yeah.
So this, what you want is that soft consistency
Exactly.
and that smoky flavor.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what. See, we'll add it here and then we cut it again.
You also sell baba ganoush,
Of course.
which is what we're making. How open are people to trying it?
Yes,
People like it?
of course.
Yeah?
Yes. There you go. Remember, you have to move the skin. It's okay if some skin stay. That's fine, no problem. Just it's going to be
It's
mixed up.
not too difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, just again, you just cut. On the food processor, it will be easier actually, and then it will be more smoother than what we're doing now.
Yeah, but I like this because people get to see how you
Exactly.
do it.
So
And
if you
all
have-
you're using right now is roasted eggplant and garlic,
And
mashed garlic.
for now, yes. And then later on, we will add this one. We finish from that. This one finish. We can just drop this one down.
You can see how efficient of a chef he is, right? Chef Roger, you said that you sell quite a bit of Lebanese food at your restaurant. Tell me about the options that people have. So we have the wraps. Those
I
can
do
be
have
chicken,
like
beef.
eight type of wraps, more or less. I have chicken, I have beef, I have steak, I have kafta, I have sausage, which we just started to do it. It's like 8 type of wrap plus the falafel, of course.
Okay.
And I have the kebab, which is a platter as well, could be. And people, it's like we can look at the menu, but if you want something different, we can always try to do something else. Or if you don't want that, we can mix it up. No
And your
problem.
kebabs are chicken, beef,
Yes.
kafta.
Kafta and lamb.
Kafta,
yes.
which is a mix of meat.
Yes, kafta it's type of ground beef mixed with onion and parsley, and then of course our spice
Yeah.
signature, and that's it.
And you
And then it's
serve it
sauce.
along with.
We serve it if it's a plate. We serve it with hummus or hummus, of course. We have tabbouleh salad or French fries, garlic, and the first
Tabbouleh,
plate-
which is
Yes.
I
I
tell
have
people-
the picture on my page, so
Yeah.
if somebody
so
wants to.
tabbouleh, because some people don't know Lebanese food at all.
Tabbouleh, I will explain it as that easier way.
Yeah.
Tabbouleh, it's like pico del gallo, but instead of if you put cilantro, you put parsley,
Parsley.
but plenty parsley. It's not
Yeah.
like little parsley, which is the parsley here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I tell people.
Yes, it's easier like that way. So people when they come to ask, oh, what is tabbouleh? This is it tabbouleh.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're going to mix it up. We have two ball here, right? Sorry about littleness. Beautiful.
And
See, it smells beautiful, and then
yeah, you smell that smoky flavor, and are you smelling the garlic?
for
I can
sure.
smell
Yeah.
the garlic.
all right.
One of my favorites.
Now the action will start.
All right. Remember, we can help, or at least Gavin. Gavin is more experienced in the kitchen
All
too.
right, here you go. You can take this one, and you
Okay.
can take this one.
What am I
There you
making?
go. Perfect. We're gonna make baba ganoush here, which is with the tahini. All right. With little bit pinch of salt, you just put because we already have the garlic right
Okay.
over there. One more, just for
So should I
taste.
do the same here?
Yes. No. Yeah. Put salt here.
Salt?
No
Okay.
problem. We're gonna put some, maybe 3 tablespoons of tahini sauce.
What is tahini sauce?
Tahini, it's a make from sesame. It's a blended with some oil and it becomes tahini. It's very popular in Middle Eastern cuisine. We do this and we do the hummus, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
And you
Now-
can get tahini in the
Of course, yes,
grocery
in a big
stores.
supermarket.
Yeah.
I would say Brody's. You can find
Yeah.
Sikafi. You can find at Sayview as well, and
Yeah.
Public, of course, supermarket. You can find.
And it
that.
has a really nutty
Yes.
flavor.
And then 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Perfecto. One. Your turn.
Yeah.
All right, you have to put all this ingredient here.
All of
I do
these?
have yes. I do have some 1 tablespoon of parsley here,
Okay.
and we have I would say maybe a little bit of sweet pepper, bell sweet pepper. We have an onion here.
Wow.
Do you want to see it? Where is
We
it?
have tomato.
Yummy, yummy.
And then I chop some a little bit of mint. It gives very nice flavor as well.
Ah, that smells
And then
great.
salt we already put, right? And then this is the lime juice, 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Beautiful.
It smells so good. I just
Go ahead,
want to eat
correct
it.
it. Now
You
it's
know what a
actually-
lot of people don't know too is that Middle Eastern food is actually very healthy. Most of it.
Of course.
Most of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it depends what you eat.
Depends on how much bread you have.
Yes, yes. You can eliminate the bread or complete eat just without the bread. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you can go ahead. It's a little bit, when I do it on proof processor, it's more...
Softer, yeah.
Yes, it's
Okay.
more smooth, actually.
And it looks good too. I mean, with
Yes.
this dish, you got so much colors
Yes.
going on.
See, that looks like a salsa with
Yes, that's
with
tortilla
eggplant.
chips. It's beautiful, actually. I never bring with me, but if you can, you
So that's
you'd
a
like to
dip.
try it. Yes,
Yeah.
more or less like a dip, yes. If you can try it, probably, yes, we're ready.
So how do you
Can try.
recommend that people eat this? What do
All
they
right, this
eat?
one with pita bread, you can eat it, or
Uh-huh.
just chips if you want, or if you can just roast the rosy pita bread, or any pita bread, or the tortilla, I would say. You can
Yeah.
roast and dip it. You buy chips from, we have chips all over, so tortilla chips, it's beautiful.
Actually, that's interesting.
You can
'cause
try this.
I was gonna ask you if you ever like do some experiments
Go ahead.
with like Lebanese and Belizean food as well. Do you ever try to do that?
Of course, me and my wife, we cook every day, and I cook different food every day, and my favorite actually rice and beans. So
Oh, okay,
yes,
your
yes.
favorite,
You
yeah.
can
You
do
like
that.
rice and beans?
Of course, go ahead, try it. That's
All
my
right,
favorite.
here we go,
actually.
baba ganoush. Nice and
All right,
fresh.
now we're gonna put it in a plate. Let's move this one.
This is great.
All right,
So,
let's put this one here.
we
This
have
one, I don't do it in my place yet, but probably I will start to do that because
I
it's
know.
really.
I mean, I'll have some when
Yeah.
I do.
Yes. I don't do it yet in my place, but
So now
yes,
we know
I'll
what to
start.
order if
Of
we
course,
want
you have to
eggplant.
put some olive oil on top of it, and it will look beautiful. This is, we can put it like way, and then we just chop some of the little parsley here. Here we go, and this fresh olive oil. And now you can go ahead, Marlene. I know you want to try this. There you go.
And
very-
what about what other
Let's try
options
this
do you
one.
have? You have lunch menu.
Yes, I have lunch, menu,
Dinner?
and dinner, of course. Actually, we started as.
Are you doing
as you-
breakfast yet?
Soon. Soon. Soon we're working on
What's
that.
a traditional Lebanese breakfast?
Traditional Lebanese breakfast is we do some bread actually,
Yeah.
and then we stuff it with different type of za'atar. We have spinach, we have meat pie, and
Yeah.
maybe small pizza, mini pizza, which is excellent
Yeah.
actually.
What's za'atar?
Za'atar, it's a combination of oregano. Actually, it's a homemade oregano. It's a bush. It grows by itself in
Yeah.
a bush, and then you go to pick it, and then we mix it with some summa and some sesame seed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you
it's-
put
it's
it on
excellent.
top of the bread.
Yes, yes,
and you
yes. I make
bake
some
it,
last actually 2 weeks, but I can invite everybody.
and they get warm
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
crispy
yes,
and
yes.
smoky.
Yes,
And
it's-
it's just delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Little bit of the.
And what about sweets, Roger?
Oh,
You
sorry, I
have the
talk about
best
diet.
sweet. I know, but
What
still,
taka,
when do you
yes.
make sweets?
Yes, I do sweet, a special occasion plus when someone ordered,
Yeah.
yes, we do sweet. I do some just for decoration, some paprika here, just for, here we go. You can grab a piece of bread and go ahead.
Yeah, look at that.
That's baba ganoush with tahini, and that's mutabbal, we call it. Mutabbal because you put all the vegetables and
Yeah, one
Wanna
day
mix
somebody
something.
wanted to make baba ganoush and I had no tahini, so they put vegetables
exactly. But
instead.
sometimes some people they don't like the tahini, I would say, and then they can use
Oh.
that one. Or they're allergic to the tahini. Some people, I would say.
Okay.
But in general, those two, it's good to go and you can try it.
And there you go. One eggplant, you can be able to try both if you
Yeah.
want to do smaller
what I
portions.
did from the portion that for the I use 4 eggplant like that size, 4 eggplant to give you plenty enough actually
yeah,
for.
yeah, because we've
'Cause we got
left over
lots
here.
left over
Yes,
too.
yes, yes.
I'll take home with me.
Yes. Well, I make sure I brought some for everybody. Can try it.
All right, Roger, what would you tell people to give a try when they go to your place? Because you're open every day?
Yes, every day from Monday to Saturday, from 11 in the morning till 8 8:30 at night.
Okay, and they can find you on Facebook. You're on
Yeah, on
Facebook.
Facebook, on Google as well. TripAdvisor just registered, and then my phone it's 671-71.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember. And then that's it.
And you find him under Chef Roger Catering.
Yes, Chef Roger Catering, correct.
And you do other food other than Lebanese food for your catering services, right?
If someone requests something special, yes,
Yeah.
we do. We just we have to sit down and see what they would like, and yes, of course, we do it. But mainly Lebanese cuisine, and that's what we are at. I prefer to do Lebanese cuisine because we are specialized on that, and then we focus on that specific food. All right.
So definitely he said that the hot items on the menu, it's a chicken shawarma.
Chicken, yes. We have all, actually, we have the chicken shawarma, we have the beef, we have the kafta, we have the lamb. Those are the wrap, actually, and the platter as well, falafel as well. And then the cold, and we have meat pie. We have meat pie, Spanish pie,
Meat
Spanish
pie?
cheese roll. All of that we offer as well, yes. Meat pie is like meat pate is a small one, which is a great appetizer as well.
And cheese roll?
Cheese roll, yes, it's a cheese roll. We just stuff it with local cheese, which is great. I love it. Mix it with some mozzarella, actually, but it's beautiful and tastes very nice. You should try
Okay.
it.
And you got your kebabs as well.
Yes,
with,
of course.
You know, your meat and
You've been there before, so you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you make baba ganoush. And let me get the name again.
Mutabbal.
Mutabal.
Yes.
All right. And you can eat it with pita bread. You can use tortilla chips.
Of course, go along with the meat. Both
Yeah.
of them.
Or it goes- yeah.
Chicken, beef, lamb. It's very delicious, actually.
Okay.
I normally put in my wrap some baba ganoush and then the chicken. It's and garlic, of course.
And French fries?
Yeah, no. You can put 2 or 3 if you want.
All right, and there you have it. 2 new dishes to try at home. If you don't feel that you can try, you can make it as yet, definitely check out Chef Roger. He's here in Belize City, just at the end of Coney Drive.
Yes, it's right beside Nazarene Primary School in that street.
Yeah, and he
You
has a
want this
nice
out.
outdoor setting where
Yes,
you
I
can
have like
sit and eat.
3 picnic table. Actually, we're trying to extend it a bit. 3 picnic table where you can sit down or you can take out, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Roger.
Thank you so much, guys, for having us, and hope to see you again soon.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned. And we're back. I'm still trying to finish eating.
I know, right?
So good.
They caught us, trying all of Roger's stuff.
Yeah. I know that sometimes people, we are used to certain meals in Belize. It's great, I think, that people are open to trying new cultures and new food.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you go to Chef Rogers, it's pretty crowded most of the time.
That's true. Yeah, you got to make sure that you call early for your request because, it's super, super popular because the food's so great.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, especially because, we do have a Lebanese community in Belize.
Yeah.
So for them to, for people to share in cultures in Belize is really, really good as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, food's delicious. So what
and it's healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
So here you had just roasted eggplants. This one is mixed with, and he chops it up with the garlic. Mm-hmm. You can put it in the food processor, or you can just chop it here. And he added vegetables. So this one has the sesame sauce, tahini, and salt.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
easy.
Super easy, super healthy, and it works, for vegetarians. And then, of course, as the chef said, you can add meat, you can eat it with meat. So it's versatile as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm always happy when there's food involved, but
Absolutely.
we did have a good show in general.
Yeah, so of course we want to thank Candice Gibson for coming in again. Always entertaining. I know he put both of us on the spot at some point.
I know. But you know what? I can imagine what it's like when you're hosting all the time. It's kind of fun to be on the other end.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate, Candice was born in Belize. He left. He's made a career for himself in television. Now he's on MSNBC on the weekends, taking on some of the big topics and big guests. And I think it's always fascinating to get that insight behind the scenes.
For sure.
Because we kind of know what it's like here, but what is it like in that realm?
Yeah.
And so it's great to have him here. Of course, he is here because he hosted the opening of the film festival, which opened last night, which means now the films are all going to be debuting. He said there were over 50 different entries that will be screened, and so you can find that schedule on the Belize International Film Festival's Facebook page. They have the whole calendar up. You can get to see movies like Carla Habet's Time to Eat. You can see Tekwani and Duende if you haven't seen it yet. Those are all Belizean productions. My Father Belize, another Belizean production, and many more from Belize and from outside as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we definitely encourage you, if you can, to check out the film festival. There's going to be a lot of interesting things from Belize and internationally as well.
Yeah.
And, flowing into the international topics, we want to thank the representatives from ICA who came to talk about building a bioeconomy in Belize, which is a super interesting topic for me, especially because, we're facing so many issues nowadays with sustainability, with climate change, and also with growing the economy and making new opportunities for people. That was a really enlightening discussion for me, and considering all the ways that we can develop Belize in a sustainable, ecological way.
And it can be profitable to be conscious of what we're doing to the planet. And I think that was really a refreshing part of the conversation, because it's a concern that many people have as well.
Yeah, I know. I was happy to hear that the feedback that they've gotten so far has been really enthusiastic. So it seems that, maybe Belize is on track, and because we've got so much resources and, a relatively young population. So looking forward, I think I can be a bit optimistic after that discussion.
All right. And once again, thank you to Chef Roger from Chef Rogers Catering for the quick recipes he shared with us. Remember, he is open in Belize City. Find him on Facebook, find him on Instagram, and check it out. But that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah, so we hope you join us again tomorrow.
That's right. In the meantime, if you want to contact us, send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. Drop me a line at marlene_oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OYEBelize. And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart
open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.